We're starting the next project, which is the legal narrative scene. Meaning, it's a scene from a former TV series. The footage we got is between two actors, and it's a scripted dialogue, so they're not making this up. It's not a documentary. It's an actual movie scene or TV scene, as you might think of it. We're going to call this project Legal Proj 1 with your last name. The cut you're going to turn in is legal_cut1, your last name. The finished cut are these specs here, which you can always check and review again when you're ready to output it and submit it. Again, you lose points if it is not exactly what this calls for. To get the media for this thing, click on the link to the Google Drive. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clips here. Select them all. You can then, select them all, and then you can download them all, and it will start to zip the drive or zip the files into a zipped file. I'm going to cancel this for sake of time. I've already done this. And once you have that into your download folder, you will unzip it. So it creates a folder of files. Okay. All the instructions and specs are on the description here. So read through it, and the tutorials are located here on Vimeo. Check those. Any questions, please email me. Here is the rubric for the 100 points possible with this project. And please, please, please read through this before you turn it in to check off your list. And we'll go from there. Okay, so let me get started. I got Premiere ready to go. Create a new project. I'm naming this legal_proj 1 with my last name. I'm putting this onto my external drive, which I have on here. It's a 5 terabyte drive. And I have a folder already created called Premiere Projects Louis. So that's where I'm going to put it. If you don't have an external drive, you can just go with the default, which looks something like this, where basically it's a documents folder, and then inside that is an Adobe folder. Inside that is Premiere Pro folder, and inside that probably 14.1. Capture format, I'm using HDV as opposed to plain DV because this is high def. And I can hit OK. It will create the windows as we're used to seeing, and down here in the lower left is import media start. Now in this case, before I do that, I'm going to go down to the lower left where it says new bin, and I'm going to name this new bin Legal Clips. I'm going to deselect that, click on another one, and call this Legal Cuts. This is going to be a simple project, no music, no graphics, just that. I'm going to, again, I like seeing this in list view. That's what I'm used to. And what I'm going to do is prepare my legal clips bin. Double click on that. So this whole window now, notice it went up as a tab here. There's nothing in it, so therefore it's all blank. And that's where I'm going to put my 9 files. I right click on this and go to import. And here in my downloads folder is the drive that was downloaded. Open that up, and there's my 9 clips. Select them all, hit import, and brings them in and puts into this bin, which is legal clips. If I go back to my project tab, which is upper left here, it will show me there's my legal clips, legal cuts. Twirl this down, and there they are. So many ways to see this, many ways to work with this. But I'm suggesting you follow this method that I've been doing for quite a few years now, and it seems very efficient to me. So I highly recommend you follow this, and then when you get good enough to create your own systems, then go for it. But there's a method and a madness to everything I teach you guys, and it comes from a few years of experience, many years of experience. So with the legal clips folder, select. I just have my mouse over it, double click on it. It'll open this up as what I call a tab up here. It says bin legal clips. I grab by the word bin, drag straight up my left button mouse, and throw it in the left vertical purple bar here that I see, let go, and that will create another window of the 2 that I have here. I'm going to equally space these, so there's basically 3 windows of more or less equal size. This is what we call to embed the bin inside this workspace. These numbers don't mean anything, letters and numbers, until I see the images. So I click on the icon view, lower left corner here, and now I can see these images. I have more room here, so I'm going to make them a little bit larger. Command and then tap L, and there you go. One tap makes it larger. And now I have 3 by 3, perfect way to show 9 clips. On the bottom here, I'll go back to my project bin so I don't. So that's how I like to see things, keep everything nice and organized that way. Talk about organization. I realize there's a couple of things here that we can see. There are 2 takes where we have close-ups of the guy, he's the judge, and then 3 takes of close-up of the woman, who's the attorney. I think I'm going to rearrange this whole set of the 9 clips. I'm going to start with the widest shot, this one, where we see the 2 people in the room. Drag this straight up to the left corner. It's like a little puzzle game. It's kind of like a Rubik's cube. It doesn't go exactly where I want it. Put his close-up up here. There it goes. Okay, so I got that, and I got him here. This is his medium. This is her medium. Here's her medium. There we go. I think this makes sense. I have a wide shot here with the 2 of them. It's called the master shot. And then we got his 2 close-ups, so I can choose 2 different takes of that. And then there are these different takes of his medium. There's only 1 take of that. But I have 2 takes of her medium when she's opposite him. And then I got her 3 takes for close-ups. Now what's interesting about this is that do they normally shoot with just 1 camera? Yes, they normally shoot with 1 camera, but for a television like this, they decided to bring 2 cameras in. How would I know that? By the designations. If you notice that on this medium shot of her here, it's 4B2, so 4 is the scene number, scene 4. B is probably the second setup. B2, I'm not quite sure what that is, but the 110, I'm not really clear on that either. But anyway, this is 4B2 110A. A is the camera, A camera. Directly below the way I have it, it's 4B2 110B. So all the first set of numbers are the same, other than the A and B camera designation. Here's 4B3 110A, and here's 4B3 110B. Okay. So what we don't have is the wide shot, which was connected to the 4B1A camera. We do have his 4A2 110A, and so here's the 4A2 110B. So let's see if I can double click on his 110A and find something that is
on the schedule for tomorrow, 9 a.m.
What?
9 a.m.
Okay, see how he says the 9 a.m., the second one?
What?
9 a.m.
His head goes up. If I go to this take, and
Schedule for tomorrow, 9 a.m.
the second 9 a.m.,
What?
9 a.m.
so I'm suggesting that is the same.
What?
9 a.m.
Sir.
She says, sir, and he blinks.
Sir.
Sir, blink. Let's see who does it here.
a.m.
What?
9 a.m.
Sir.
Yep, that's it. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything, because you decide as the editor where you're going to use the close-up. You can use the wider shot. Once you pick a take, does that mean you take every single thing only from that take? No. Is it possible that every sentence comes from a different take, different framing? Potentially, yes, that's a possibility, whether that's necessary or not. So the point is, this exercise is that you're going to learn how to choose different takes, decide what you're going to do with it, and also decide the timing of it. So the very important thing here to note is that when the camera is shooting her in this medium shot, he is still sitting across from her at the desk. He is still acting and she's still acting. But this is clearly her take, her shot, her medium thing. And the lighting is designed just to be looking at her. And that's why they don't put these. Well, if you had two cameras, why don't you just have one on her and one on him? No, because then you don't have that much control over the lighting. The lighting that we have for this whole side of her with these lamps turned on, there's a lamp in the hallway, the amount of light with the door open and all this kind of stuff. This takes quite a bit of time to craft it. And so they don't want to light both sides, him and her, at the same time, because it'll compromise the light. This is how films are made. You take your time and you have very specific things. So the two cameras are pointing in the same direction with the same lighting and just changing whether it's a a wider frame or a tighter frame. That's all it is. So having said that, the microphone, assuming it's on the pole, on the boom, it's over her head somewhere up here, and it's aiming at her mouth. When he says his lines, it does not turn to him and then turn back to her.
Detritus of justice that they have filed over the years, chronicling a litany of petty complaints that have made their...
Okay, so he's saying his lines, she's acting.
Yes, sir. I will get on this.
It's on the schedule for tomorrow, 9 a.m.
What?
Now, he has a fairly good voice and he's projecting quite a bit, so you might not hear the subtle difference between her what and his lines, but he's clearly off mic. He's about 4 feet away from her, if not a little bit more, and so it's not the same clarity in the quality of his sound.
What?
9 a.m.
If we do it on his side, it's a little more obvious.
For tomorrow, 9 a.m.
What?
9 a.m.
Judge, come on. I mean, these guys are...
So, therefore, on now this is his close-up, so the microphone's aimed at his mouth, and when she speaks, it's a little bit what we call off mic, because it's not meant to use her sound, only his. Now, she's there acting to keep him, so everybody's acting and keeping in character. So you do all that, but then you said, why don't you just swing the mic and grab her while you're at it? No. Because at some point, you may miss him, and that's the whole focus. It's on him. So please do not use any sound that comes from an off-camera shot. Okay? If you can't see their faces and the lips moving, don't use that sound. Okay, we'll start cutting on the next tutorial.